Okay, so my pictures are going to look the same as yesterday's because I just changed the directions. So it says find the volume. That's basically what we're doing today. So today we're going to be working with volume, and we're still going to be working with prisms and cylinders. So it won't be as long because here's your volume equation, and you're kind of already used to what these letters mean over here. So it'll be a little quicker today. So for volume, this is considered a prism. Yes, I know it's a cube. So again, they gave you that cube formula on the sheet if you want, but I just like to use the prism one. So for my volume, this is what we'll be working with today. So capital B, of course, is the area of the base. So same as before. So capital B is the area of the base. That's why it's shaded in right there, because you're doing the area, not just a base number. And then H, of course, is your height. So if I'm going to do the area of the base, remember the bases are parallel. So right here, it could either be top and bottom or left and right. Since it's a cube, doesn't matter. So area of the base is going to be 5 times 4, because that's the area of a rectangle. So 5 times 4, and then times your height. And your height is 5. The height is still the same thing, connecting the bases. Okay, some people say base times width times height. When you do a cube, that's fine. It's a little easier for volume for a cube. So 25 times 4 is just 100 inches. This time it's inches cubed. So make sure that you know his volume is inches cubed, because it's 5 inches times 4 inches times 5 inches. So just like x times x times x would be x cubed, inches times inches is inches cubed. So all your volume will be cubed. And then in number 5 over here, if I'm finding volume of this prism, again, I need my area of the base. So if I'm doing area of the base, this is a trapezoid. So 1/2 times your height of the trapezoid, which is 3, they gave it over here, times the sum of the bases. The sum of the bases are the 2.8 and the 8.1. So that's my capital B. And then I times it by the height of the prism. The H is the height of the prism, not the base. So my 12 should go right here. I don't know what all of that is. So you've got to do 1/2 times 3 times, and I got to add up 2.8 and 8.1, and then times that by 12. So all of that round to the nearest tenth is going to be about 196.2. And that is units cubed. All volumes cubed, all area is squared. So surface area, regular area, that's all squared. Okay, same thing down here as I was talking yesterday. So if you're going to do area of the base, I showed you yesterday that you have to find this. And since we had 2 equal sides in this big triangle, that these would be 2 equal angles. So those would be 45s, 45, 45, 90 right there. This is going to be my height or my altitude. So we were doing that yesterday where we needed the opposite. And keep in mind that this is 8 because of that one. Okay, so if I'm going to do the opposite, if I do 45, I can do the hypotenuse and the opposite. So that means I would do the sine of 45 is equal to the opposite over the hypotenuse. So if I do 8 times the sine of 45, it's going to give me about 5.6569. That's going to be my height of this triangle. So when I go to do the capital B, I've got to do 1/2 times the base, which again, we talked about this one yesterday. 8 is my base, times the height of the triangle, which I just found right there. And then I have to times it by the height of the prism. So the height of the prism connects the 2 bases. So that's going to be 10 right there. So I'm just going to keep that 5.6 decimal in my calculator, times it by 10, times it by 8, and times it by 1/2. And that's going to end up giving me about 226.3 inches cubed. So it's pretty easy today because we were used to yesterday. It's just a different formula. So you're still finding most of the same thing. So area of the base here is a little easier because I have everything. So 1/2 times 5 times 12, because that's my base and my height. So that's the area of the triangle. And then I need my height, which is going to connect the 2 bases, which is the 8. So I'm going to do 1/2 times 5 times 12 times 8. And that's going to give me 240, nice normal number, centimeters cubed. So volume's a little easier as long as you have the formulas, which you will be provided them. And then down here, I just threw in there the cylinders again. So if I'm finding volume of the cylinders, here's my volume. So I'm going to do pi r squared times the height. So it's really just a different formula today. So this is, if I did it in terms of pi, it would be 45 pi. Then this one will be to the nearest tenth. So if I do that, I'm going to end up with 141.4 centimeters cubed. Okay, same over here. So I've got pi times r squared h. Just make sure if they give you diameter, you cut it in half. So I've got to multiply all those together and get 942.5, and that'll be meters cubed. I think the hardest part about this test at the end is when they give you all the pictures, you got to make sure you know what's the difference between a cylinder and a prism and a pyramid. So the pyramids, people think pyramids and prisms, they get those mixed up, but I'll explain that a little more thoroughly when we get to pyramids and what makes them different. Okay, so last two, the only reason again I did this is because it says in terms of pi, so I want to make sure that we know what that means. So my volume formula, I've got pi times r squared times h. So what you're going to do is you're just going to bring the pi down. That's all you're doing. And then you're just going to multiply these numbers in the calculator. So 4 times 8 is going to give me 32 pi. And that's still centimeters cubed. So this is terms of pi. You just do not type pi in the calculator, and it just goes next to your answer. Do the calculations here. So pi r squared h. And so the pi is just going to come down here. So in my calculator, I'm going to do 1.5 squared times 4. And that's going to give me 9. So 9 pi centimeters cubed. That's it. Okay, so nice and easy today. You will have your IXL today. Your IXL is T5. So enjoy.